one tool and endless designs. Let me show you how to maximize designing with Kittl. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Bailey, and in this video I'm going to be showing you all about print-on-demand products and using Kittl. First, let's break down what print-on-demand really means and how it's revolutionizing the way that we approach e-commerce today. Print-on-demand, or POD, is a process where you create designs for products, but they are only printed and shipped when someone orders them. So this means no inventory, no upfront costs for stock, and no risk of unsold products. POD is changing the e-commerce landscape by allowing creators, entrepreneurs, and artists to sell custom products without the traditional barriers of entry. And one of the biggest advantages of POD is the flexibility that it offers. So you can quickly adapt to trends, update designs, and then offer a wide range of products without additional costs. Market research is the cornerstone of a successful print-on-demand business. It's not just about creating great products, it's about creating the right products at the right time for the right customer. One key strategy is staying at least 2 months ahead of the market. So this means anticipating trends before they actually become mainstream. By doing so, you position your products to capture the market as it peaks and not after. Timing is everything in POD, and being early in on a trend can significantly impact your ranking and sales. So it's really about being proactive, not reactive. And we'll explore how to stay on top of research and use it to your advantage. Now let's transition into the practical side, finding trending products and customizing them to fit these emerging trends. Here are some really invaluable tools for staying on top of product ideas and analyzing the market. Google Trends. So you can use Google Trends to see what's currently popular and what is gaining traction. It really is a fantastic way to gauge public interest in real time. You can use the Shopify blog on product research. So this resource provides insights into conducting effective product research, helping you to identify what sells. Another good place is Exploding Topics. Exploding Topics reveals emerging trends before they hit mainstream. It really is like having a crystal ball for marketplace trends. Next, you can use Feedly. Feedly uses AI to gather market data, offering a curated feed of content relevant to your niche. It really is a great way to stay informed about industry news and trends. By leveraging these types of tools, you can stay ahead of the curve, ensuring that your products are always in line with the latest trends. Because remember, in the POD business, being informed means being ahead. So moving into the heart of our strategy, let's focus on niche research using tools like Everbee and eRank. These tools really are crucial for identifying profitable niches and staying ahead of the market. Basically, Everbee and eRank are so effective for niche research. So here I'll show you how. These platforms offer insights into what's trending, what's selling, and where there's an opportunity for you to potentially enter the marketplace. So now I'm just going to hop over to eRank and Everbee and do a live walkthrough of how I actually use both platforms in conjunction with each other, just because it's probably a little different than what or how most Etsy sellers use them. And I do want to specify that you don't need both of these tools to be successful. You could definitely get by with just one. I like to use both to compare and contrast numbers, and I use each of them specifically for specific search reasons and functionality. So with that being said, in eRank, I utilize this trends tab, and then by clicking on monthly trends here, And this is just a way to give me a broad overview of all of the keywords that are currently trending on Etsy. They will give me the top 100 on here, and I just like to be aware of this list as it changes throughout the year and really look at this trend graph here, because this is what's actually going to show me if this is potentially a seasonal product or an evergreen product, meaning that it sells year around. So something like this, I'm going to try to find a obviously seasonal product, which would be this keyword here, Christmas. Though it's not very specific, you can tell that it has seasonality due to the spikes in the graph that you see starting in October of each year and then falling flat until the September of the next year. So this is just a good way to gauge if the product is going to be seasonal or not based on this yearly trend. So for example, stickers is an evergreen search because it has the same amount of volume pretty much throughout any month of the year, and this would be considered something evergreen. The other way that I use eRank is just by the keyword search tool up here. So this is what I am doing if I am either starting a new store or helping someone one-on-one and they don't have a niche or an audience, but they have an idea of the types of products that they want to sell. So I always recommend just starting out with your base keyword of the type of the product that you want to sell. So for this case, let's go ahead and use the keyword mug, like a coffee mug. And then what I'm going to do is find the places within the marketplace that I am able to enter based on low competition and hopefully a high enough search volume. Okay, and so now that that has brought up those results, it's basically given me any combination of keywords here with the word mug in it. So how I like to go by this is just find one that has theoretically a high amount of search, which this is this first column here, average searches, and then a low amount of competition. So the Etsy competition should be green as well. You'll also have your search trend bar here, so you can tell if this is going to be a seasonal or a evergreen product for you. But this is the way that I usually recommend most people to start out with. If you can find something that is green here and green here, you are usually pretty good to go. So for this example, I would go with something like mushroom mug because it has a green amount of competition and green amount of search, and it still is technically an evergreen product. It looks like it has a little bit of a lull in the summer, but this is to be expected because it is a coffee mug. So now that I have validated the columns that I need to, which are search and competition, I will take the keyword and then go plug this in to Etsy and do the rest of my research with Everbee. So since Everbee is a Chrome extension, it is already installed here, and it will be if you have it installed in yours as well. And I usually like to sort by top customer reviews because that will pull up the products that have usually sold the most and have the most amount of reviews. At that point, I will then go ahead and click on product analytics right here. And what Everbee does is pull in all of the numbers that I need to see, such as the monthly number of sales, the monthly revenue, total sales, and the listing age. These are all of the factors that I like to look at, and I will usually sort by monthly revenue. And what this is doing for me is just showing me all of the top results that have made a lot of sales. And then I like to look at the listing age. If the listing age is something under usually 12 to 18 months and has a high number of monthly revenue, then I usually take that as my go-ahead and will then start to analyze what makes the design selling that well. So for this example, this has only been up for 1 month and it's already made $400. So this is something that I would take a look at closer. There are quite a few of other results, but this is just the main way that I use Everbee to kind of cross-analyze with eRank if something has a good demand and a low competition, following up with a good amount of sales and a low listing age for me than to continue and put it on my Etsy shop. Now I would like to introduce you to Kittl, an innovative all-in-one design suite that is transforming how we create our digital products. Kittl is not just another design tool. It's a customizable suite that caters to a very wide range of product designs. So whether you are looking to create logos or labels or t-shirts or posters, cards, social media covers, or even thumbnails, Kittl does have you covered. One of the standout features of Kittl is its ease of use. It's designed for both beginners and seasoned designers, making it a versatile choice for anyone in the print-on-demand space or digital product space. So let's take a look at how Kittl operates. Notice how seamlessly you can switch between different types of products, from apparel designs to digital graphics, all within the same platform. An exciting feature of Kittl is its trending search tags. These tags help you stay current with what's popular, ensuring that your designs are aligning with market trends and consumer interests. Kittl also is at the forefront of AI technology in design. Its beta AI features for image and logo generation are very impressive. The accuracy of text and graphic integration is at about 99%, which is exceptionally high for AI tools. So let's put Kittl's AI to the test. I'll input a text description and then we'll see how the tool generates a logo that's not only visually appealing, but also aligns with our specified requirements. So to generate our logo or graphic design, you'll just want to click on New Project up here and set the parameters for the size that you wanted to create in. So for this example, I'm just going to leave it at the 12,000 by 12,000 pixels and just change the DPI to 300 and click Create. This will bring me to a blank canvas, and I'm just going to hover on the little star down here at the bottom and click on Kittle AI. So this prompt field here is where you will input your prompt, and then what Kittl has done is incorporate several types of styles that are very popular, and you'll just need to click on the one for the type that you want your image to generate into. So the types that I most often use are under clipart style, and these are usually either t-shirt graphic or watercolor or even mascot at times. So for this example, since it will be for a logo, I most likely would click either kawaii icon or the t-shirt graphic just to make sure that it is a clean cut image. So for this example, I'm just going to pretend that we want a coffee shop logo. So I'll just go back up here to the prompt field and enter in my prompt. So that is about as creative as I'm going to be just on the spot. So I just want to see if it can pick up the floral and make something cute with a retro theme with the subject being a coffee cup logo. So I'm just going to click on t-shirt graphic and then generate image. Okay, and so as you can see, in just a few seconds, it generated this logo, which is pretty great. There is no spelling errors, so that's pretty much all I really care about at this point. I would definitely be able to fix this, or you could probably put, if you were doing this as a custom listing on Etsy for someone, you could probably put the established here and then the year that they were established, or you could just generate another image, which I do this all of the time, and cover up the part of the design that you need. So I'm just going to put a similar, actually I'm going to do like a coffee bean instead of another flower, and just make sure it is on t-shirt graphic again, and then we will see what we get. So this actually will pretty much work perfectly. It still has pretty close to the same color palette of my original image. So I'm just going to shrink this down. I did just remove the background by clicking on AI background remover here. And then I'm just going to shrink it down here and then add it here. And just so that the star is still showing, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, just so it covers that enough, and then copy and duplicate that so that I can put it on the other side as well. And there. So now at this point, I would just click on download and remove background, optimize quality, and it's definitely large enough to be used as a logo, and then I would download it as a PNG or a JPEG depending on what the customer needed it in. So this AI feature is a great tool, especially for those who may not have extensive graphic design experience. It really does level the playing field, allowing anyone to create professional grade designs with minimal effort. So let's just go ahead and experiment with some more designs. Okay, so let's first practice by creating a t-shirt design using Kittl. So this walkthrough will not only show you how to design a t-shirt graphic, but also highlight the versatility of Kittl for various other types of products. Okay, so I'm just back here on the main page of Kittl, and I'm just going to choose one of their templates. If you hover over templates here, you'll find a very large variety of different types of products that have pre-made templates. And this is what makes Kittl so great, because once again, if you are not an experienced designer, you can easily create any type of design from these and just simply modify them to fit your audience and your niche or your subject without having to create the design from scratch. So you can just click on t-shirts and filter through them, or you can specifically pick one of the ones that are already here. So I've just clicked on mascot t-shirt just because I know that these are really popular right now. So as I'm scrolling through here, I'm just looking for one that catches my eye. And with Kittl for POD, you can definitely use any of the templates as is, though I highly recommend changing them and making them unique to your specific niche so that they have a better chance of selling. So I'm actually just going to continue with the coffee theme since I really like this one and I like the quote. So I'm just going to click on this one, and then to start off, I'm just going to remove all of the elements that I don't want. So I love the coffee, smile, laugh, repeat, but I want a different type of coffee cup, and so I'm going to kind of use a mix between their template and their AI features. So first, I'm just going to delete the little coffee cup and then also delete the background and remove the texture. So the texture, I'm just clicking on the canvas here and that will bring the texture, and then I'm just going to click delete. And then for the background color, I'm just going to change this to white because I don't need to have a background. And then I'm going to generate my image. So again, on Kittle AI, I'm just going to type in the type of coffee cup that I want. And for this one, I'm actually going to choose watercolor and then generate image. Okay, and so this is what it came up with. And while it's not exactly retro, I do kind of like the watercolor effect and I really like the colors, so I'm just going to use it. And so again, just clicking on remove background here to get that off, the white background off. And then I'm going to have to adjust the colors just a little bit. First, I'm going to move this to the back and get rid of this and then move this over. So I've just kind of selected all, even though I don't want that. So I'm going to start over just a moment and select the words and move those over. Now that I have those off to the side where I want it, then I can bring this in, fill out the rest of the design, and then I'm going to need to change the colors. I don't want the stars anymore, so I've just deleted those. And now I can click on the actual word to change the text color, which I need it to be a little bit more of a hot pink to match the overall design. And then since this really isn't coffee, I've decided to change this to be the word ice cream. And so this would work well for someone who loves ice cream, or just a cute birthday party typed theme shirt is what I would really see this working for. And I'm just going to put that up a little bit smaller and then centering it down here so that it all looks like one single design. And that might not work just because I still don't like that big of a line break. So I'm actually just going to delete this and then create its own line. So I'm just centering that there and then Control C and Control V, and then I'll change this to the correct word up at the top. And then just because I'm extra, I'm gonna go ahead and change that to pink, and then that will be it. So now that this is ready to go, I would just download this, remove the background, and optimize quality. Make sure that this is still set to 300 dpi, which it did somehow get changed, and then download that as a transparent background so that it can be used on a t-shirt. So there is the finished product. And now that the design is complete, it is time for the mock-up process. So this is where you can bring the design to life by adding it to a lifestyle mock-up for your Etsy photo listing. And so since Kittl is an all-in-one suite, they do have mock-ups already. So you'll just want to navigate to the photos section right here and then type in the type of mock-up that you're looking for. So for this example, it would be a t-shirt mock-up. So I'm just going to enter that and see what we get. I'm obviously going to need to look for something with a girl, and this one actually is perfect just because of the umbrella in the background. So I'm just going to grab all of this and group it together so that I can shrink it down and then place it exactly where I need it. Typically, I don't like to have the face of the model showing, so I've just stretched it out to about the eye height right there. And then I'm going to send this to the back just so my design is here, and I actually lost it altogether. So I should have grouped that first because now I cannot grab it. So lesson learned, just group it first. So right click and then select group or lock. Okay, so you actually don't want to hit lock just because it will lock it in its place and then you can't move it forward. Don't know why. I haven't had that do that to me before. So I'm just manually moving it down here, which it's not recommended. I would recommend just grabbing your image that you downloaded and adding it back, which I should actually just go ahead and do that just to make sure that I am placing it right. So I'm just going to grab my downloaded image here and wait for that to be uploaded, and then I'll place the full design on the t-shirt. And it is just one design, and stretch it out as much as you will be using it. This probably isn't the greatest example just because of her hand placement, so I would recommend looking at the design first and where your t-shirt design is actually going to fit. So since that doesn't really work with the hand right here, I'm going to choose another one. Even though I really like the pastel background, it's just not going to work for this. So one like this is going to be much easier to work with. I'm going to see if there's anything with a little bit more color. So like this one would be perfect, but this is on a pillow. So I will save that for later since I do have a pillow idea. But this would work perfectly because most likely I would see this as more of a child's design anyway. So with all of the elements of the toys and the socks, this works perfectly. And now I'll just rotate it a bit so that it fits the overall t-shirt a little bit better. And then I'm going to take down the opacity just a little bit so that it looks more realistic when something is printed through a third-party POD supplier like Printify. It won't be as bright as that. So it's generally a good idea to take it down to about 90% just so it looks more realistic. So that is it for my mock-up. At this point, I would just download this as either a PNG or a JPEG, and it would be ready to be added to my Etsy shop. So since Kittl is not just limited to t-shirt designs, let's go ahead and practice on another type of product, such as a label. So I'm just navigating back over here to Kittl to my templates and looking for a label. So labels are things that a lot of digital products sell, though they are a highly customizable product. So think like wine labels where people can put their names or dates on them. This also works for all types of party favors, such as the name of the party individual, their birth date, and things like that. So for this example, let's just pretend that we are creating a specialty wine bottle for someone, or a wine bottle label. So I'm just going to use this one just because I like the overall retro vintage feel. And this one is really simple because it's just about switching out a few of the elements. So in this case, I would see the label of the people wanting their name on their label just like this. So let's say it's a family winery and their name is Thomas. Let's see. And then since we are making this for a wine label, you could type in wines here. But overall, I like this vintage font, so I'm going to be leaving the type there. And then the name of their company would probably be here. So let's just go ahead and call this, I don't know, Coastline. Let's call them Palisade, just because I know there are Palisade peaches. Let's call this Palisade Peach Wines because this family makes peach wine. And then I would actually call this good. I really wouldn't change much else on this just because it has the overall vintage vine that a lot, or vintage feel that a lot of wines labels are looking for. I would change this background color if I needed it as to be a transparent, if they need that version as well. But overall, I would just download this, just most likely because it would be used as a label like this and they would be cutting it out or printing it. So it would need to have some type of background color. So you could offer this in both a PNG or a JPEG by removing the background, optimizing quality, and once again changing that DPI. And this will give you an export size of 4 inches by 4 inches, which is about right for a wine label. So then you can just click on the format that you would like to download it in, and that would be it. You could also provide this as a PDF just because they will be printing it, unless they're just using it for digital use like on their website or in their own photo listings. Then you could offer it that way as well. Now, finally, let's design something a little bit different. A pillow. So pillows offer a unique opportunity for personal expression and can be really great for gifts. So just imagine the joy of gifting a customized pillow with a humorous message like, "This is Dad's spot, don't get too comfortable." There is a huge market for products that combine humor with personalization. If you have a creative streak and a good sense of humor, designing pillows really can be both enjoyable and profitable. It's all about connecting the customer's desire for fun and unique home decor. So for a pillow design, I would just start out with a blank canvas. A standard square size will work. Change the DPI to 300, which is going to give me a 5000 by 5000 pixel canvas, which is plenty large enough for a pillow. For this, I'm just going to use Kittle's AI and type in the type of pillow or prompt that I'm looking for my pillow. So since I don't want to really come up with something witty on the spot, I'll just go with a very generic, wholesome saying. We'll just go with "welcome home," since I'm thinking this type of pillow, just with the type of design, would most likely be used out on a front porch bench, or maybe even the bench that you take off your shoes on when you walk in through someone's house and have a little welcome message on there. So as you can see, my prompt really is just worded like it would be in a conversation. It says, "A rustic collage of sunflowers and butterflies with the text in the center of the design that says 'welcome home.'" Make sure that you always put your text in quotations. I found that this works out the best. And then I always follow up with the theme that I want it to be. So rustic country theme, and then I'm going to choose watercolor. Okay, so that only took just a few minutes to generate, and it basically is perfect. It didn't do it right in the center, and that's okay because I really like the banner that it's on. It still has kind of like the country vibe with the little stalks of either hay or grass, wheat. I'm not sure what that is, but I like how centered the sunflowers are, and it really does have that rustic country farmhouse feel, which is what I would be going for. So since this one is pretty much perfect as it is, I really wouldn't do anything different to it, other than maybe add an additional butterfly down here if I wanted to. And to do that, I would just generate it again with the same prompt, with just like a butterfly. Okay, so as you can see, that one did not generate anywhere near enough to this current color palette, so it really wouldn't end up working. So I'm going to generate it again, and this time be actually specific with the color palette that I need the butterfly to be in. Okay, so this one is much better and it's a little bit lighter, but I will make it work anyway. So I'm just removing the background off of that, and then also removing the background off of my other one because I did forget that. So as long as I add a few of these in here, I think it will pull together fine, and being shrunk down to that is fine that way. So I'm just moving it around a bit, and then I'm going to add another one up here, just so that it looks cohesive and that there's a few of them, so that it makes sense that there is that lighter teal color in the overall color palette. So, and then it kind of just fills out the entire pillow since it is a square design. And then I'm going to call it good. So I'm going to make that one just a little bit bigger, and then download this as a transparent, so PNG, optimize quality, and then I'm going to place this on a mock-up just like we did with the pillow or with the t-shirt before, just on a pillow. So I'm just over here in photos and I'm going to type in pillow mock-up. And I either like this one just because of the background, or this one would work as well. This one might work better just because of the either burlap that is there. I'm not sure. So let me go ahead and upload my image like I did before, just so I have it in here so that we can add this to our mockups. So I'm just deleting this now since I already have my image, and then wait for that mockup or that design to upload. Okay, so now that that has finished uploading, I have just zoomed in my pillow to be as close to filling out the square as possible, just because on Etsy you do want your design front and center. So I want it to be really clear and the image to be very much readable as much as possible, so that the customer doesn't have any questions with what they're getting. As before, I'm going to take down the transparency just a little bit to about 90% is where I keep it, and that way it looks realistic. So I did keep some of the green in there just because I thought that that looked really cute, and now this is ready to be downloaded for my photo listing. So now that you've seen the incredible versatility of how Kittl works and empowers you to customize a wide variety of products using just one tool, I hope that you got something out of this. From pillows to logos and labels and t-shirts, the possibilities really are endless. So for small businesses, Kittl is not just a design tool, it really is a way to elevate your marketing game. It allows you to quickly adapt to market trends and customer preferences, offering a diverse product range. I really do encourage all of you to experiment with different niches and designs, because the beauty of print on demand is in its flexibility and the creative freedom that it really does offer. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, because your support really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.